Hello, parents and family of 4th grade. I am Miss Paniagua and I am your student's math teacher. So this year, I am very excited to be working alongside your student as we learn through various math concepts. And the first concept we will be learning about is whole numbers, decimal numbers, and place value. And so this will be our first focus for the beginning of this year. And to introduce this unit, I have sent you guys a newsletter in which I break down everything that we'll be learning this week and the types of activities we will be doing in the classroom and outside of the classroom. So there's some things for you guys to do at home. And so first, I would like to introduce our learning objectives for the week. Our first learning objective is your student will be able to model whole numbers using base 10 blocks. Our next one is they will be able to record whole numbers into place value charts. And our last learning objective is your student will be able to identify decimal values into place value charts. And so these are the three objectives that all of our activities will be encompassing, and your student will be able to learn more about how to use place value charts and how to input decimal numbers and whole numbers, and also how to represent those numbers using base 10 blocks. Now, knowing what our learning objectives are for this week, there are corresponding TEKS that go with these objectives. We have one math process standard and one math content standard that helped us create these learning objectives. So our math content standard is it's numbers and operations. The student applies mathematical process standards to represent, compare, and order whole numbers and decimals and understand relationships related to place value. The student is expected to interpret the value of each place value position as 10 times the position to the right and as 1/10 to the position to its left. So that encompasses whole numbers and decimal numbers, and we will be using those two different values and to be able to place them into place value charts. Now, our process standard is the student uses mathematical processes to acquire and demonstrate mathematical understanding. The student is expected to create and use representations to organize, record, and communicate mathematical ideas. So in class, we will be doing 3 activities throughout this week, and they correspond to the TEKS that I just mentioned. The first activity that we will be doing focuses on learning more about base 10 blocks and what is the value of each block. The goal of this activity is for students to learn that in our number system, each place has 10 times the value to its right. So students will understand that from ones to thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, that it's always 10 times greater to each place value to its right. And students will use the base 10 blocks to practice modeling numbers and categorizing each different value into its corresponding blocks. And so this will be the first activity that your students will be working on. The second activity that your students will be working on focuses on using the place value chart. Your students will be able to now write what the number looks like and separate and break down each number into its different place value. The purposes of this activity is for them to be able to correctly correspond each number into a specific category and be able to familiarize themselves with the place value charts. And our last activity focuses on decimals. Students will be able to use a decimal place value chart to now understand that each value passing the decimal spot is 1/10 of the value to its left. And so now students will understand how numbers can be broken down into 1/10 and how that would be represented in a place value chart. They will be able to identify what the value of each different category is in the chart and how to represent these numbers within the chart. Now, for our out-of-class activities, students will have 10 activities to do, and these will be done from home, and they can be done either with the help from a parent, a guardian, an older sibling, anybody who is willing to do this activity with your student. And so there are 5 activities that are technology-based, so they do require access to a computer, a phone, because we will be accessing websites, books, games in order to learn more about whole numbers, decimal numbers, and place value. And then the other 5 activities are more hands-on activities, kind of more like games in which students practice what they've learned in class at home. And so some of the things that you guys will be looking at in these activities are you'll listen to books, you'll play games online, you'll learn how to use an online manipulative with your student, and then you'll also be able to create hands-on activities using paper, crayon, scissors, beans, anything that you can get a whole group of, so like beans, Skittles, and separate those into different place value charts and be able to understand more of how we can categorize numbers and break them down in a place value chart. And so I'm looking forward now. I am very excited to hear back the feedback from these activities done in home and in class. I hope you guys enjoy these activities together as a family. Please reach out to me if you have any questions. You can reach me through email or through phone number. I'm here to help you guys. So this is the conclusion of what this newsletter encompasses, but if you need more of a breakdown on the newsletter, there's written directions for each activity and what we'll be doing and example problems that you guys can reference to complete these activities. So I hope that you guys have as much fun as I did creating these activities, and you guys have a fun time learning about numbers and seeing how these numbers are in our real world. Bye, 4th grade family.